So I have a client that we're trying to figure out what's going on with the website. We're looking at conversion rates. We're looking at sessions. We're looking at where people are going, what pages are converting. And then we've also noticed that different analytics on their website versus Google Analytics itself, they have different numbers, which is interesting. Obviously, I know we don't find that Shopify, which is what they're using in Google Analytics, they don't line up very well. Like
Right.
you can get kind of a gist from both. And a lot of the times you can see trends together. Like if you have more sessions on Shopify, it also shows that on Google Analytics, but it's also different. Like they're different numbers. They're not the same.
Right.
And so we've kind of been trying to diagnose what are we seeing and like what's the best path forward to try to increase sessions and increase conversions and things like that.
Sometimes we have to look at them relative to each other as well.
Yeah.
Now with Google Analytics, I actually don't trust them that much anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
which is a bummer.
It's sad, and I've talked with multiple marketers about this, and they all feel the same way.
Yeah.
To where they just hate the new Google Analytics 4, often referred to as GA4.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not great. I really miss the old Universal Analytics, but they've depreciated it. So now we kind of just have to take it with a grain of salt. I would definitely trust purchase information more on Shopify, but attribution more on Google Analytics.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for Shopify, if you have an online store and you're selling primarily online, or you're running you sell some online, but you run any like point of purchase sales through the site too, that's going to be accurate. Like you're running all your financials through their revenue. It makes sense that that's accurate. Where it starts to get murky is the sessions, who's coming, and who they attribute the traffic to. That's where it struggles really bad. And so, trying to figure out the balance between them is like been the biggest thing, because one will say one will say something different.
Yeah. So for this particular company, we're going to look mostly at just Google Analytics. We can show a little bit of the discrepancies, but this is for the exercise here. We're going to look at Google Analytics. So this company that we're looking at, and just since they're clients, we won't say their names or anything. We'll kind of keep their data private. So, but we're looking at the last 30 days. So July 22nd through August 20th. And we're comparing it to the previous year, because with this particular company, there's some seasonality. And it's worth noting that back in, I think around June, right? Early June, we redid their homepage.
Yeah.
It was needing some life to it.
Yeah, some maintenance, some restructuring.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't structured.
New content, more content.
Right. Yeah. So basically, when we look at it as a whole, like they were a little concerned that their revenue numbers weren't where they wanted to be, right? For like recently, is that correct?
Yeah.
So we want to know why. So we're going to open up GA4, which you can see on my screen, and we're going to look at some metrics. So right off the bat, it's really interesting. We see we're comparing the last 30 days. We can see that the number of sessions are up, active users are up, new users, engagement on the site, which, I mean, that one's huge.
Yep.
A huge increase. Key events. Now, an event is something that's important to the business. The main key event would be a purchase. And so when we look, you can set up key events to be whatever you want. Heck, you can even have it be page views if that's what you really were after.
Yeah.
And so it's a matter of like what you define. So you can see there's a few different purchase events. So, but then you can see revenue and key session, key event rate in which we have purchase selected. So essentially that's saying out of how many people came to the website, how many people purchased, and it puts that in a percentage.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the event rate is. So we can see, and this will be blurred out for you guys, but this first item here is one of their new products. And we can see here last year they had no traffic at all because it wasn't live yet. And this year they have a bunch of traffic. Compare that to their homepage, which this represents their homepage. We can see we had a massive decrease. And so Jesse, I mean, you're in this account a lot
Yep.
more often than I am, like from like the social side of things. What are your takeaways here?
Well, I think first is we've structured a lot of the ads to go to that new product, which makes sense when you launch a new product. You want to try to convert people as soon as possible, whether that's a landing page and then it goes to a purchase screen, or just for this, it's just the actual product page itself. Okay. And so we've shifted a lot of the ads to that, which makes sense. Why that one has so much traffic, and if you look at the homepage, it is a lot less than it was. It's 13,000 sessions less. Mm-hmm. So it's a big difference.
When we say sessions, we're referring to like website visits.
Yeah, website visits, right?
Yeah, so we can see here there was almost a 79% decrease in sessions on the homepage when we compare it to this time last year.
Yeah, right.
And so, when you see this, it's like, oh my goodness, like this is terrible. We need to fix it. But the importance of keeping track of what you do, like with your marketing efforts, this speaks really well to that, because you were involved in creating these social media ad campaigns.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, I know what's happening there.
Yeah.
Right.
And so as we look at this, and if we want to, with this specific client, you have two products that are their big focus. So there's the new product that they came out with, which is a lower tier or a less expensive option, which also means that their revenue or profit is also going to be smaller on those products versus their top tier product, which would be the third one, one of the ones further down, right?
This one probably.
Yeah, that's a landing page. But so anyway, it's one of those other products. Now, it's right there. So that product right there is their top tier product. So that product, when they get sold, like that's the top of the line. That's what they want to sell the most of. Mm. And I think shifting all the traffic, or 90% of the traffic through ads through to the new product with a lower price point, lower margin, I think that's where you see the decrease in revenue or from the sales. Now, that being said, when we actually look at the Shopify conversion rate and how many orders we have, we're up a ton of orders
year over year, right?
Yeah,
when we're comparing it to the previous
year over year.
Because in this case, you can compare numbers two different ways, or probably more, but like the main ones are period over period,
right?
Which is the last, like in this case, the last 30 days compared to the previous 30 days,
right? Or
there's year over year, which is the last 30 days compared to that same time last year.
Which when you're looking at long-term trends, that makes more sense because there's so much seasonality to almost everything. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, especially for this specific client, there's a lot of seasonality. So one month might be huge, then the next month be really slow. I think this time of year anyway, when we're getting close to Q4, everything starts to slow down. And then once you hit September, it kind of ramps back up. And then you kind of have a Q4, like kind of the ramp through Q4. And that's normal. Like it's someone that I've been with for 3 years. So I've seen this seasonality, and that's what always happens. So,
so let me go back to the homepage changes that we made.
Yeah.
So I would love to just pat ourselves on the back, but there are some issues with that and with these numbers that we're seeing.
Yeah, right.
And this kind of emphasizes the importance of just understanding what's going on in your own business. So we saw a big increase in conversion rate on the homepage. So we're like, oh, sweet, more people that came to the homepage purchased. However, there's more to the story that we've already mentioned, and that's the decrease in number of sessions.
Right.
Whenever you do that, especially on like more of a top of funnel advertising campaign like social media, anytime you pull away traffic from those sources, your conversion rate is going to go up no matter what.
Right.
So the homepage changes may or may not have made a difference. The only way to know that for sure is looking at organic traffic conversion rate for that specific landing page and seeing what happened there.
Yeah.
So there's tons of different ways to look at this, but
conversion rate it's a good metric to obviously see and want to improve on. Mm-hmm. But we've had clients, me and you've had clients where they were obsessed with conversion rate to the point of where we basically said, we can give you a 50% conversion rate. If 2 people go to your site and 1 buys, that's a 50%
Right.
conversion rate. And it kind of puts into perspective, like, you got to calm down a little bit, because as we increase sessions, your conversion rate may drop some. And it's because the higher influx of people, they're still not going to always convert, especially if we're doing some sort of ads that aren't necessarily bottom of funnel. It's top of funnel, just trying to get your name
People
out there. That's
introduced to the
completely
brand.
different.
They need to be exposed to it like at least 7 times.
Yeah.
And so when you put in a big amount of people into that top part of the funnel, they've seen you once. They may not purchase unless you have some crazy sale going on
Right.
to where you make it a no-brainer. But like, you have to walk them through that process. You have to have processes in place, or processes, or whatever in place, to be able to capture those people when they engage with you the first time.
Yeah.
And then use other sources like email campaigns and things like that to walk them through, to get them exposed to the brand more.
Or like how I like to do meta ads is I build like a funnel system where the top 2 that are just the campaigns are all for awareness. So it's all for getting your name out there, getting to as many people as possible. And the ones that click through to your website, the next campaigns are set up for anybody that has been to our website for the last 365 days. So now those people have moved down into a different campaign it's a little bit more targeted to.
And they haven't purchased before.
Yeah, right. And then from there, it goes to the next one where it goes, okay, within the last 60 days, we have a real bottom funnel where we're doing catalog ads. All we're showing is, hey, this is the product, this is the price, you should purchase.
Right.
And it goes from more of a storytelling down to like, here's features of our product to buy.
Yeah.
And it funnels them down into each one.
Right.
And it works really well.
So you definitely should do that from like each channel that you're working on. So the advertising channel, create that funnel process, but also have it on the website as well, so that at any point people would come to your website, and if you can get them to give you your email address, like then you can get them down that funnel.
Right.
So you kind of have multiple funnels going on at once.
100%. Yeah.
And it's a great way to conduct business, and it would definitely be beneficial for any company to implement. Like what should this company do and let's also look at the conversion rate of this product. This product that's getting most of the traffic only has a 0.2% conversion rate.
Yeah.
When we compare that to the homepage at a 0.7.
Yeah, right.
What should we do about that?
So what the plan will be is to shift a lot, maybe since it is still a new product and we want people, introduced to it on the page. We're not going to pull all the ads from that. But what I'll do is I'll take about 50% of whatever ad budget is. Let's say we have 7 campaigns going. I'm going to take 4 of those and move it to the homepage, or move it to, let's say 3 to the homepage, and move 1 back to that top tier product that they really want to push continuously, right? That's been a staple for them for 2 years, right? And so we'll do that instead. And hopefully that helps really convert people and give them the option to, if you're buying, let's say this top product that's new is a bottom, let's just say tier product that is a cheaper entry point, and we want to move them up, right? We want to move them up to the next one if we can, right? Like we want to walk them up the different kinds of products so that they can hopefully purchase our top one that we get the most profit from. So that's kind of what we would like to do, and that's kind of how we set up the homepage. And so if we can funnel more people to the homepage, I think that'll be more successful, especially if we're looking at a 0.7 versus a 0.2 conversion rate.
Right.
Now, as we, like we said, funnel more people to the homepage, that will probably come down. But even still, if it's 0.5, if it comes down 0.2 overall, we're still going to be more successful than we would be with just a 0.2 conversion rate.
One tactic I've seen that's been kind of interesting is if you put people right on the product that they are clicking on, sometimes that performs worse than if you put them on a completely different page, usually the home page.
Yeah, right.
My theory behind that is you make it too easy. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you take them to the homepage and they have to go through and click on some stuff to find the product that they were interested in, now they've invested some time.
Yeah, even if it's 30
they feel
seconds.
Like, I've already spent the time to get this, and when they find it, they probably get a little dopamine
Yeah,
boost,
like,
you know?
ooh, yeah, this is
Yeah, like,
cool
oh, sweet,
looking.
I found it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be more likely to purchase. So it'll be interesting to also look at the conversion rate on the social ad side of things to see, are they more likely to purchase when they land on the homepage or on that product page?
Yeah.
And then from
This-
there, make a decision on where to drive that traffic.
Yeah, and we're going to be implementing these into our client campaigns and strategy over the next, let's say, month or 2 months, and we'll follow up with this and see, okay, what has changed, and we'll kind of keep a screenshot of what the analytics are now, and then we'll look in a couple months and see what changed and what did we implement to make these changes,
Right.
so we can see what's changed. Did the because who knows, we may switch it over and the 0.69 plummets a conversion rate to like a really, really low conversion rate, and you're like, okay, well, all right, let's look at what we're doing and seeing if it's actually worth it.
Yeah. A good follow-up schedule that I like to do when I make a major change like that is I like to follow up one day after, just to make sure nothing crazy happened.
Yeah, right.
Then 3 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 and 30.
Yeah, makes
like
sense.
basically checking on it like once a week. You got to give it time
Yeah, right.
to run for it, like the algorithms and stuff to adjust. And so, but that's a really good follow-up schedule that we use all the time.
Thanks for listening. Every week we go over news, tips, tricks, and best practices to help you grow your small business. So follow and subscribe below.
For more information, check out our website at launchingpros.com, where you get access to a bunch of free resources and courses designed to launch and grow your business online. Check out the links below.